What's going on, everybody? Welcome. Happy New Year. Happy New Year, man. It's another year. So it's another day.
Another blessing.
We back, man. We back live. It's good to be back home, man. In the booth, man. Big Propaganda Wrestling Podcast Network proudly presents to you the 225 edition of coming up with the best content we possibly can put out. Eddy, how you feeling, man?
Man, we're gonna have another great year, man. A lot of good things. Something that we already have some stuff on the docket.
Yeah, it's lined up, man.
We have new shows from all corners of our network. Because if you don't know, we're the Wu-Tang Clan. There's a lot of members. Everybody's gonna be doing something for the network. So don't forget to like and subscribe. Turn on that notification button. Make sure that you know when we're coming up with your premium content so you can enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, for sure.
And why are we here?
And today, it was gonna be a special episode. It's still gonna be a special episode.
It's always a special episode.
It's always gonna be a special episode.
It's the new year, man.
Wrestle Rave, January 11th, King in the Mountain. That's a big event coming up, man. A lot of people are anticipated on this card. We have some incredible talent coming through.
One in particular, in my opinion.
Yeah, but before we get in there, we're going to let our guests introduce themselves, let you know what they're known from, let you know who they are. Let me go ahead and pass it on to you.
Hello, my name's Jack Irene. A lot of you may know my brother, Nick Irene. I have been with him since the start of it. I'm now 24. We've grown and grown and grown, and really proud of what we have today. This guy right here has been with us as well. Killian Powers, take it away, the right-hand man to Wrestle Rave.
You gotta look familiar, don't he, man?
Yeah, he's like in his street clothes, so it's like he's in his Clark Kent right now.
He's got some side hustles too, yeah.
Indeed.
Detective work here and there.
Yeah, I gotta look familiar.
Hello, I'm Killian. I am a referee, a producer. I help produce Texas Contender Series and New Texas Pro Wrestling. And I've been refereeing for Wrestle Rave for almost 2 years now.
Something like that.
Oh, wow. And, doing, a little talent scout, little this, little that.
He's a Swiss Army knife of Texas.
We got to give you a round of applause. Thank you for coming out. Thank you guys for your time. Again, everybody thinks you only have one job, but as you've shown, you're a man of many hats.
I try my best. I do have ties to a certain PI, and he takes cases as he sees fit. Yeah. But but yeah, it's been very cool to see the organic growth of Wrestle Rave. When I joined Nick, Jack, and Ben as well. Back in 2022, it was like, to see where it's gone from then it's been something. It's been absolutely incredible. And we're just getting started. This is us really just getting started. We have a big year planned. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But I'm just fully. Just blessed to be here. Really blessed to be a part of this, and
yeah, for sure, man. So let's talk about it, man. January 11th, Wrestle Rave, King of the Mountain. Let's talk about what all it takes to put an event like this together. You got some incredible talent coming through, man, from the likes of Cappuccino Jones,
Human Tornado.
Yeah, Human Tornado.
Mysterious Q. I mean, man, that's gonna be one hell of a card, man.
Yeah, it all kind of just piggybacked off of one another. We had a plan to return to our roots after Death Triad, after our initial comeback, and we saw the opportunity with Human Tornado, and that was exciting to us. And from there, you have to find a worthy opponent for someone of his stature, and then you add Mysterious Q to the card, and then just guy after guy after guy, girl after girl. And I think we've really built an exciting card for January 11th. Yeah. It's one of my most anticipated cards as a fan. So I really hope that reflects in the show that we're going to put out there. I think we're bringing 7 to 8 unique matches with just talent you can't really see everywhere. So
No, and one of them in particular, hopefully we'll get to there because I just love the stipulation and just your smile. You kind of know which one I'm talking about. What is I know with Zello, he had his interview with Nig. You know, shout out to Nig wherever you are. You know, happy New Year, man. Just the fact that you guys said that you try to bring different flavors into one card. Like, how is that process, especially because Nick basically said that Houston has a very different type of energy when it comes to, like, what they like. So, in your opinion and what you guys seen, what does Houston like?
it's an excellent question. And Killian and I will have very different perspectives on this, I'm sure. Because, you know,
And so do I, trust me.
right. The thing about Houston to me is most of Houston doesn't know that there is indie wrestling.
Yeah.
True.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very true.
And at the same rate, most of Houston wants something to do. Most of Houston wants something to go to, have fun.
You're
And
hitting the marks.
Really, it's as simple as that. And when you're putting on a great wrestling card with great talent and investment from everyone involved, it reflects in the show and everyone has a good time. So I think catering to the wrestling audience is important, but Houston has such a built-in audience already that some of the most supportive fans I've seen in the world, you know, so.
No, and one thing that Zello and Nick mentioned is that we always support our local talent.
Right.
Like once I saw Mysterious Cute, I'm like, all right, I'm there. But then once I saw Human Tornado, I'm like, yes, I am definitely gonna be there.
And that's kind of the idea is it appeals to the Houston audience, the Texas wrestling audience, as well as something a little bit bigger than that. You know, maybe people saw Human Tornado growing up like you're talking about.
Yes,
you
I
know,
have.
it's,
I was a Vine kid.
So in that aspect, we can appeal to as many people as possible while still sticking to our roots of Texas indies.
Yeah, no, for sure, man.
Yeah, I just recently found out about indies. I think with 2022.
Right.
I think that's kind of like when I really just got introduced to the scene. Like, I didn't know it was this much wrestling out here like that.
Really?
Yes,
For
I
me,
was a late bloomer.
For me, it's like once I graduated high school and started making adult money, that's when I discovered like reality of wrestling, and then it started growing from there. Like, oh, ROH is gonna be in San Antonio.
Right.
I was young enough that I could do an overnight drive. Now you don't have to. You have to pay me thousands of dollars to make me do an overnight drive to anywhere.
Right.
But those were the days, especially like my memories with Wrestle Circus.
Oh, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude,
Quite a
it was my religion. Like I was either front row with Front Row Phil, shout out to you, or second row. It was never anywhere standing room. It was only one time standing room is because me and my ex, we were fighting, but that's another story. But, okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I think what really can't be ignored is the influence on the Houston Premier Arena has had on the Houston independent scene and Houston wrestling as a whole. It's people chuckle when it gets compared to the Houston Coliseum, but it's been home to the hottest like independent professional wrestling like the last couple of years. Like
100% sure.
And I think what's really special about it is it unites so many promotions with so many different spices and flavors that also all want to see Houston, Texas talent thrive and grow. And and I think it's just the Houston Premier Arena when it was founded in 2020. It was just one or two promotions. I think it was just Loco and PWF, and now there's been 10 to 12 with major promotions like GCW, and it's to see how the community that it's built with Wrestle Rave included, very much included. And the fact that, you know, it's still growing with the people that are finding out like, oh my gosh, there's still wrestling around. Like, you know, so yeah.
There's a lot of nostalgia in that building. Like,
Oh,
for
100%.
sure. Yeah.
I still remember that one local show with Gino and I forgot the luchador, and they were chopping the shit out of each other at the point that the ring started shifting. And that was like my only like best memory. I was like, yo, this is awesome.
Some of the charm of the Houston Premier Arena.
Yeah.
Of course.
Definitely.
And then not only does like the the environment itself, it's also the fans.
Yeah.
Because again, the fans do make the product bigger, especially if they're hyped up. Because another thing that I wanted to piggyback on, like, what does Houston like? We just had Monday Night Raw, like, and it was nearly sold out.
Did y'all go?
No, I was working because I'm an adult.
Heard that.
And like one thing I found out was like I logged into my Facebook account and I saw like half of my high school friends went. 20% of them because they have kids of their own and they're probably at that age that they like wrestling.
Right.
But I'm just like, where were y'all when I was getting bullied?
And that's a great point, right?
Yeah.
When I was growing up, I was very shy about expressing my love for wrestling. I've been obsessed with it before I could even have a thought.
Yeah.
But it wasn't easy to share in high school, and
Never.
And now it's definitely, I think, much more accepted in a mainstream.
Oh no, trust me. I saw so many guys and gals, especially gals. Some of y'all. I was just like, really? Y'all like wrestling? Why are you laughing, bro? Anyways, so just the fact that like the Rock said, like, wrestling's becoming cool.
Right.
And I feel like your guys are going to be a part of it, especially this year, 2025.
No, it's great timing. It is. Wrestling's really thriving right now for all the reasons we just talked about. And that's only going to help us. So it's great that people are seeing what's so cool about it,
Yeah, no, 100%.
Can I get you guys' thoughts on the WWID program?
Oh, yes.
How do you guys feel about the program, and how do you feel it benefits independent wrestling right now?
So, if I could.
Yeah,
So, one thing, because I talked to Cappuccino, I believe it was after Lone Star, about this, and I recently, because I wrestled in front of Gabe Sapolsky for the seminar that he came through for, and this was before the ID program was talked about or announced. And basically, I think it's a helping hand to guys that they see fit, a helping hand to guys and girls that they think, okay, you're young, you are still learning, but at the same time, you are way ahead of the curve as, other than, some of your peers. And I think it's really a big helping hand because one thing, Cappuccino Jones was very much slept on before the ID thing. Like, he was extremely talented. When he wrestled Dustin at, I can't remember what Contender Series it was.
A Contender Series show.
I literally remember while I was directing this, as the match was going on, I smelt the coffee and then the steamed milk while this man's like shining and just doing like great, amazing drop kicks and just hitting every move. It was and it was a fresh brew, like it was just
all these coffee puns. I'm loving it.
Right, and it rolls off the tongue so great, and I think with the right backing, with the WWID program, with because I don't know if you guys saw, they did with some of the guys. It
was on NXT the other night.
Right.
Yeah.
They also did what looks like to be a promo assignment because they did the hashtag WWE Happy, and it talked about how, and basically each person cut a promo about how what makes them happy in wrestling, and I think it just offers a lot of good opportunities for them to not only get reps in ring and get more bookings and have those eyes on them, but also still be able to go through the bumps and bruises of, being an independent wrestler. So.
Yeah.
I feel like one of the main things about why it's so cool about this program is that back in the day, 20, maybe 30 years ago, wrestling, to be a pro wrestler, it was a gatekeep thing. You have to prove yourself in order to survive this. And I did one fantasy camp and I took a bump and I was like, all right, it's all right. But then I started thinking about the traveling. Like I said, I hate traveling. I hate driving to Houston. Houston, I love you. You're in my heart.
I hate driving.
But you're the worst when it comes to traffic, and you're about to be up there. Anyways, and that was the only part that I was just like, nah, I'm good. I'll be a fan. And I just feel like everybody could just have that opportunity instead of having to do 5,000 squats or run up the stairs. It's no, let's see what you got. Let's see what we work with. Anyways,
Yeah, I mean, I think WWE ID has been nothing but helpful for everyone right now.
Right.
And from a promoter standpoint, it allows us to say we have a WWE prospect on our show.
Yes.
You know,
Right.
in what way would that be bad for us? You know, and a lot of people met this news with doom and gloom and WWE's going to kill the indies and all this, but
that's been said by everything.
right, and there's a reason for that. There's a track record to that. But in my experiences with WWE ID in its short career so far, it's been nothing but helpful to us, and I'm glad it's given exposure to some really talented guys that need that push, like Killian was saying. So
I definitely agree with you guys on that, though.
Man, it just motivates people to continue doing their dreams, not only to make it a dream, but as a reality, and start working hard and push themselves so that they could get that eyes.
absolutely.
Even if you don't get the contract, just the exposure itself, I think that's good, and especially with the internet being the way it is.
Yep. Cappuccino Jones, his name was put out in a broader light, and people just took a second glance. Cappuccino Jones from Coffeyville, Kansas. Who is this guy? I need to see more of this guy. You know, and if you know, you know. And luckily, more people are knowing, and we'll get to see a great look at it on January 11th against
Caffeine Clash,
Vinny
baby.
Pacifico in the Caffeine Clash. Energy drinks versus coffee. Little.
Wow.
Yeah, choose your side, you know, pick your poison, if you will. But
It's a lot of caffeine and a lot of sugar.
it's going to get wet.
Pause. Anyways,
Freeze.
so just
I'm rocking with the cold brew cappuccino, though.
It's that,
I like
hometown
every single time I
closer.
hear the name Cappuccino Jones, I'm just thinking about he should do a collab with Sabrina Carpenter as Espresso and just.
There you go. See, so many opportunities for him, and
Absolutely.
I mean, she already got a deal with Dunkin' Donuts. So
I was
like,
going to say probably Duncan. Yeah.
exactly. There you
I mean,
go.
hey, we're in Houston, so we got to go do with Shipley's.
Yeah, well,
Shipley's.
we can work on that.
Hey, Cappuccino Jones, I just want 5%. That's it.
Yeah, but we're excited to feature Cappuccino in every capacity going forward. It's awesome to see just the rapid ascension he's been on, because he's been just talented from day one. He's one of those rare cases where he just gets it, you know. And
I know we talked about, the HPA, that being such a nostalgic arena and place for wrestling, but I know also in March you guys have another location that you're going to be doing another show at.
yes.
In Tomball, Texas. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Yeah.
How did that come into works, and where exactly is the location?
So, yeah, this has been a long time coming. This wasn't possible until we got our own ring, and now we do indeed have a ring. It's a very unique ring.
Okay.
It may have a couple more sides than most rings.
Oh, okay.
It's going to be at Tomball, Texas at 403 Eats. It's a food truck park. You can get burgers, sushi, burritos, whatever you want.
I'm going to be there right now.
You can
sounds
watch
like
some
my play.
wrestling, get a table while you're at it. You get a whole picnic table, VIP section. Get to meet everyone. We're going to have our main roster there, Cappuccino Jones and the crew. It's a great venue. It's exactly what we were waiting for. And excellent partners, too. I couldn't be happier with what we've created so far, and I hope it's a long-term partnership. And I think the fans, once they see that, that's going to be a real look at what Wrestle Rave is. Houston Premier Arena has been instrumental to the growth and the building blocks of what Wrestle Rave, could even start with. And now that's allowed us to go on the road and just, we can run anywhere. That's the idea.
It's always a good idea to expand and try other places and collab with other promotions, just put as much work as you can in. How did the whole new location come about? What behind the scenes work did you guys have to really put in to get this locked in?
So they usually say, you can hit up 100 places. You may get one that'll bite as far as a business proposal goes.
Right.
In this case, pretty easygoing guys. They liked what we had. I liked what they had. And it really just worked out like that. I'm not saying that applies to every venue that we will visit, and we're gonna try our hand at visiting every location we can. But
Visited a new one today.
Right. We're actively looking at awesome locations. So we're going to keep trying the top one after another. And it starts here at Tomball, which is, closer to where I live. I'm in Conroe, so I wanted something a little bit centrally located. And
That makes sense.
Y'all always come to us. We got to go to you guys.
Right. I think that's definitely an untapped market. Not just Houston. I mean, Texas is so big, and there's just so many people here that don't have a local scene as much as
right
downtown Houston.
And if you give people more access to, because, people in the South Side, they have Row, people in the more Houston general area, they have Texas All-Star and Houston Premier, and then and various lucha promotions. And then, so I guess this really gives the North Side something to look forward to. And as well as just Houston people that are going to want to see the show, to come out, have a great time, get the big crop propaganda section lit,
We have bottles on deck and all that.
What do we have? What do we have?
Bottles.
That's
I was about to say the Mata.
Oh, Mana.
The final boss.
Speaking of bottles, at the Caffeine Clash at King of the Mountain, not quite a bottle, but a cup and a koozie. The Cappuccino Jones coffee mug is dropping January 11th. Exclusive item for VIPs. And you get a Vinny Pacifico koozie with it. So that's a 2-in-1 right there with your VIP.
Dude,
package.
that is beautiful. You are giving back to the fans.
Absolutely. All the drinkware you could ask for.
That's marketing genius right there.
I'm telling you, man, if you just take the time to sit down and just create some of these ideas, it's endless.
And that's kind of the idea of Wrestle Rave is there's so many stories to tell in wrestling. Too often it's Wrestler A versus Wrestler B. Why are they wrestling? Why should I care? If you just show people who's in the ring, on a deeper level, if you get to see their personality and what makes them special, it makes the match that much more interesting. So we really want to highlight, fighters first mentality. Wrestlers get to shine with their personality, not just the moves.
Yeah. So what was the whole, what was the premise behind King of the Mountain? How did that whole event, the idea of, okay, we're gonna name this King of the Mountain, this is gonna represent this is what this card is gonna be. How did that whole idea come about?
That's a great question.
Nick and Jack are TNA marks.
Yes.
That's why.
Long story short, absolutely. Anyone that knows me, they know I'm always going to think, how can I sprinkle a little bit of TNA onto my Wrestle Rave show?
Indeed.
So King of the Mountain is arguably, outside of Ultimate X, it's the most notorious TNA match stipulation. It's ridiculous. It's a reverse ladder match where you have to hang the belt instead of pull it down. More on that later.
Yeah.
But this is something that, it's something different. It's something that has a legacy, for better or worse.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, if you've ever seen a King of the Mountain match, I guarantee you enjoyed it. I guarantee it. And obviously that was done in TNA with a supreme talent level.
Yeah, crazy.
But we're going to have
talent.
5 guys that are going to try to match that on January 11th.
I'd say supreme talent level
Absolutely.
with ours,
Yeah, we put champions in there because this is to crown the new Wrestle Rave champion. This is entering the new era, and we thought what better way to do it than something truly unique and something truly special that people won't forget.
Right.
And there will be a form of a penalty box there if you are pinned in this match.
Shout out Ben Scheinberg.
I am really trying to picture, where's everything going to be at?
I'm intrigued.
That's all part of the fun, right?
Yeah, I am
Yeah.
intrigued.
I also have some breaking news for the card.
Ooh.
We just made...
We like exclusives.
We
we
love
got an
exclusive.
exclusive. The timing is just right. We just closed a deal with Ninja Mac to make his return on January 11th.
I've been
He
trying
will
to get
be-
his mask, man. He need to hit me up.
He may have some for you on January 11th. He's usually got the merch going. But January 11th, Ninja Mac will be there. He's going one-on-one with Robert Martyr. It's going down Houston Premier Arena.
Okay.
January 11th.
Go
So
Ninja, go Ninja, go.
he's going to be back. So it's been a while. It'll be great to have Ninja Mac back.
Yeah, Robert's a hell of a talent too. He's been making his rounds around here
Absolutely.
in Houston
And,
too, a lot.
This is going to be a breakout match for him and a great homecoming for Ninja Mac. So
Yeah, man.
everyone's really pumped up about it. I was talking to Robert today, and we're just all really excited about this card and the future.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It sounds like I'm starting off 2025 in a
Man,
big
starting
way,
off
man.
high,
You gotta make
Let's,
some
guns
moves.
blazing,
let's
baby.
continue talking more
Yeah.
about this card. The one gimmick match that I'm really interested in is the dry ice match.
Yes. So I'm glad you're bringing that one up too. So
I am bringing
Yeah,
up that
I
one
think a lot of
specific-
people are.
Even though I'm excited for Human Tornado, the second one I'm excited for is that one.
we've
'cause
got
I
a
wanna
lot going
see-
on here.
I
Absolutely.
want to see what's going on with that one.
So you asked me like earlier. I don't know if we were rolling or not, but Nick and I, my brother, we kind of shift duties here and there. You know, he's definitely more of the deathmatch guy and the hardcore guy.
Yeah, that's the vibe I felt when Zella was interviewing him. I was like, yeah,
right.
I like to see people hurt.
So I'm not gonna take complete credit for the dry ice death match.
Yeah.
Not for insurance reasons or anything. Just
yeah.
just pure. It was the brainchild of Nick. It's been done a couple times, and you know it's been
Really?
it's been a spectacle.
Okay.
We
'cause-
hope to bring that form of spectacle to January 11th, and that's going to be just unlike anything else on that card, and maybe any other card. So.
Yeah, because this is like my first time ever seeing that.
Yeah, this be my first time seeing it.
I think that's like a FM, like what was it, Japan?
FMW.
Yeah, I thought it was that thing.
Right. Yeah, there's going to be two guys fighting for the Wrestle Rave Deathmatch title with dry ice in the middle of it. So not something I would sign up for, but it shows the dedication that Dmitry Alexandrov, the defending champion, and Matty Ite have for getting that crowning achievement.
Two known Texas deathmatch guys. You know, Dimitri obviously, and Matty Ite's still like trying to make his name known, but he had a great showing at the Devil's Due Cup. Goodness, it was Death in the Family, the collab
Right.
between Baracho and Inspire.
That's what kind of got him on the radar for Death Triad. And
Right,
he's been
exactly.
he's been ascending since then, so definitely got to keep our eye out on.
Right.
Have you ever touched dry ice before?
Yeah, it hurts.
It does.
It does.
It hurts.
I've
is a
never
dangerous
touched it because
match.
every single science class I took is like, do
You're
not
not
touch
supposed
it.
to touch it.
You're not supposed to slam people through it either, but
No,
that, you know,
but it looks like that's gonna happen.
that could be a case on January 11th. Find out.
Now
We'll find out.
let's talk about my anticipated. I've mentioned it throughout this whole Human Tornado, man. I feel like I've not spent that much time on the internet, but it's been a while since that man has stepped foot in the ring.
I haven't seen him in like years, bro.
And that's most people's reaction.
I'm like, wow.
And that's the problem. You know, why has it been this long? Why isn't he on a platform? And the fact we can give him that platform, it's exactly what we signed up to do.
Against Mysterious Q, no less.
Against
That's
Mysterious
that's
what
just
makes
a
it even
wild
more
match.
excited.
Yeah.
It's something I'm really excited for. The indie legends of my childhood that didn't necessarily get their flowers all the time. I think back to David Young, a guy that I brought in a great career in TNA and Southern wrestling scenes.
Yeah.
Doesn't always get talked about. Pleasure to work with. One of the greatest minds I've talked to in wrestling. And, you know, he deserves that platform. And Human Tornado is another case like that. And
Yeah.
I'm so excited. And for the people that are familiar with his work, I know y'all are excited too. So it's been a long time coming.
My first time was seeing him on MTV.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Wrestling Society X.
Yeah, that was my first time
He
seeing him. I
was-
was like, whoa.
One of the real standouts in that
Yeah.
promotion
Yeah.
TV series, whatever you
Yeah,
want to
man.
call
That's
it.
what I was like,
And-
that's dope.
And he shared a video with me. I forgot what was the YouTube channel, but they were talking about like the first episode and how like chaos it was.
Oh, I've watched
And-
the full series. It is
Bro, it had like
incredible.
Matt Seidel. Who
Yeah.
else was on there?
Jack
Ryan,
Evans.
Jack Evans.
Had
New
Teddy-
Jack.
Teddy Hart.
Teddy Hart. I was like, what
Had
the
Just
hell?
Incredible, who owes me
Just
$50,
Incredible.
by the way. I'm gonna put that out there.
Gonna get that money,
Hey,
Justin.
Hey, Justin. That was an incredible.
It wasn't incredible. He owes a lot of people money, though. I'm not. Allowed.
So I've heard.
I'm not personally attacked Justin, but I am disappointed. Gosh,
Justin.
Yo, man. It's,
Sorry, we'll book Justin Case from State Farm. What was it?
there you go.
I know a certain detective. You might have to get him on the case. Man.
That's a
certain
good-
private eye.
I'll push it up the ladder there. I think he has some pressing things to deal with, but yeah, we'll put it on the wait list.
Yeah, because if I do go to the show because I'm accidentally double booked for January 11th if I do get approved for certain media, because like I said, everybody's gonna be doing something on January 11th.
Right, right.
I'm like, January has become like, hey man, you should have saved your money and screw Christmas gifts, because January is bringing a lot of shows, and I'm just like, oh, I have to pick and choose. But if I do go to the show, I will have a PWG trading card with Human Tornado as the legacy.
That's fantastic.
And I'm hoping I get that autograph.
That is a great collectible. I'm a little jealous of that one. And maybe
trust
hit up eBay for
the
that.
one thing about the pandemic is that I got some checks, and I used that checks on high spots.
I'm sure a lot of people did that.
That was the creation of the whole like what the Facebook infomercial, like, hey guys, we have this autograph. And I'm like, hey, I saw y'all had a trading cards. What do I have to do? Oh, you just got to buy this 3 DVD sets of what was it? I know it's PWG, but I just forgot the 3 tournament days. Either way, I have to buy the DVDs in order to get the trading cards. Worth the investment.
There you go.
And he was in there.
And it's coming in handy now, January 11th.
Oh, I can't wait, man.
Just hand me that card. Give me that card. We'll link up.
Oh no! I want you to protect it with all your might. I'm gonna get it graded.
I'll keep an eye on it.
There you go. Listen, we got the man right here, so we make sure we get it for you.
I mean, man, I'm just like really excited. And one thing I wanted to touch on about like new venues, because me personally, especially with Zello, last year we were at Mad War Pro and they did it at a brewery. I was with Phoenix Entertainment Lucha, and they did it in a brewery. What is that inspiration? And then you guys said that y'all are gonna do it in like food trucks and all that. Like, where's that inspiration comes from? Like doing like these like out of like arena closed doors locations. What does that like tell with like that inspiration? Like, why do it differently?
Well, wrestling is one of the few things that you can just kind of put anywhere.
Right. Exactly.
If there's enough space for a ring, you can have a wrestling show there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So why not take advantage of that? Why not take advantage of a built-in audience with a food truck part?
True.
You know, people going to just spend time with their family, getting a hot dog, can also watch people slam each other on a 6-sided ring. Yeah. So, you know, you get that entertainment factor that everyone's always looking for. And sometimes that's more accessible in places like festivals, you know, wherever. You can get really creative, and that's part of the fun. Plus, you get some cool aesthetics. And
some very cool vibes. Actually, so Jack made his reffing debut for a show in Corpus Christi, and it was in a very like nice old ballroom. Very interesting vibe. And then back in I think summer of 2022, I was visiting my girlfriend in Halifax, Nova Scotia, and I got the opportunity to wrestle for Kaizen Pro Wrestling, and they run out of a ferry terminal in Halifax.
No shit.
Yeah, I got to take a boat to a show, and it was shout out to Kaizen Pro Wrestling. I will see you all very soon, and so will certain PI. There's so many alternate venues for wrestling, and we really are ready to just kind of collect them like Pokemon cards. So
it's exciting. You know, when I was a kid, I always thought WCW and Mall of America. That is so cool.
I feel like that will be like the first time that it was like outside of a stadium or arena.
Well, WCW was very experimental with that, and you know, those are some of the revolutionary ideas that aren't really being capitalized on all the time still to this day.
Every now and again, like GCW did do the wasn't it from Mall of America, wasn't it?
Oh, okay,
that's when, it was Mall of
Ricky
America.
Starks came out and after shopping at Louis Vuitton.
right. Very him.
Very him.
Yeah, when was the last time you see somebody wrestled on like a beach or something?
That's what I was going to say.
WCW. They did the spring break, right? Like, they always go to
they did spring break. They did a bash at the beach, on the beach. Yeah. I think they said they had 200,000 people or something like that. It was
like the only time,
exaggerated, but you know,
they did that during spring break. That'd be the only way. God,
South Padre,
crazy. South Padre.
If I'm not mistaken, Baracho Pro's first 2 shows were on. I think it was like one of those like fake beaches, but it was at a.
It was a water park.
It was a water park. Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
that's
yeah.
pretty
See, I mean,
too.
you can just put this shit
Yeah.
anywhere.
You can.
I mean, it's the weirdest business ever, but we love it.
It is.
So.
Yeah.
But it creates such a great environment for people that want to see. Because one thing that really interested, or that I guess behind like the psyche that got me into wrestling was sports. I'm a huge sports nerd. Love baseball, football, hockey, all that. And yeah, just I think it's something for, it's not just something for the family, it's something for, you know, the dudes to, you know, watch while, you know, the family goes and eats and, you know, does things. And yeah, I think, you know, we're providing that in the best sense that we can, with conveying the best intensity that we can as well.
Man,
You know what?
say it.
January 11th, I'm sold, man.
I've been sold.
You know, go ahead and take my money.
Still more to be announced too. We've still got a couple more matches.
We do have more to announce, and we're excited to
I know.
officially announce the rest of the card. But yeah, we're so excited about it. We're excited to launch the soft relaunch with the new logo and a lot of new ideas coming forward with that. So sky's the limit going forward.
Man. I just want to say I'm proud of you guys, man. I've been a fan of Wrestle Rave for a while. I think the first Wrestle Rave show I was, it was the first, I think, Death Tirade. And
Yeah,
that's what
the
got
Death
me.
Tirade,
That's what got me hooked.
Yeah,
And
that's
after that,
awesome.
you know what I'm saying, I've been rocking with y'all. I've been seeing the growth. I've been seeing the cards they've been putting on. Another one of my favorite shows they did was Tiki Mania with Kenny.
Oh my
That
goodness.
was an
That's
awesome
the one I
show.
wanted to
Special
show, but I
like,
couldn't
bro.
because of work, man.
Yeah,
It's a
it
fun
was-
time.
Yeah.
Y'all done put
It
on
was
some great,
definitely something
innovative
special
stuff.
for Kenny as well.
Yeah, man. So I just want to let y'all know I'm proud of y'all. Y'all just keep going, keep doing your thing, keep grinding. Sky is the limits for y'all.
Appreciate that, y'all.
Yeah,
Been
I
there since
definitely
day
know
one, yeah.
January 11th y'all gonna tear the house down, man. It's
that is
it's
the
gonna
plan.
be great. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, they're gonna turn it so down that they got to go to a outdoor venue so that they.
That's
can,
right.
Yeah, but you see,
sending
the
us to the
outdoor
food truck
venue
part.
is
Exactly.
a good look, man. Like you say, that would bring so many more eyes. Like casual people just gonna be out there grabbing something to eat,
And that's
not
the
even
idea.
knowing what's going
Right.
on. But they're gonna sit there and watch. I guarantee you that.
Oh, no,
they're gonna want to
100%.
learn who is these people, what
Yep.
they got going on, and that's how you know it's great marketing. That's great
No, for
business
sure.
right there.
Which, speaking of like booking all of that stuff, like I want to ask like fan questions, like stuff that I want to know about you guys.
Sure.
Especially since I asked Kiefer some of these questions because you guys are bookers as well. I'm a steal of a page of Ice Cube Jr.'s little gimmick. When has a storyline broke your heart? Like when was like you realized that okay, this was a moment that like I stopped being a kid and stopped having imagination. I just became a man.
It's a good question.
Probably when Seth Rollins put the chair to Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose.
Plan B?
Yeah, I definitely made me cry as a child because the Shield was the reason I really got into wrestling.
Right, I hear you talk about that a lot.
Right, yeah.
That would be the most, and that was, I remember that
Yeah.
when I was growing up.
yeah.
Man, that's a good question. Something that really connected with me was Cody and Dustin's program in AEW.
Yeah, wow.
It's
I
a
haven't
story revolving
talked about that in
around
a while.
brothers, which you don't always see, unless maybe like Undertaker and Kane are lighting each other on fire or something. But not exactly a brotherly love storyline.
Yeah.
But yeah, that promo after the Cody and Dustin match. Just,
I need my
yeah, I
brother.
mean, he's so
No,
hard.
photos are
I prefer
That
the hype promo when he was just like, you're just like a dead horse, I just gotta put you down,
Right,
Because you guys come from an era where y'all just like think you're the hot shit, Obviously, I'm ad-libbing all of that, but the way he said like your era is like overhyped,
Yeah.
and that like my generation has full of like these talented, amazing athletes, but y'all are the most like memorable of like all of wrestling history.
Right.
And that was the part that I was just like, yeah, I'm sold. And you mentioned your brother, so that's one thing I wanted to ask. Like, how does it feel like booking with your brother, especially because like you guys are family. You guys have to go to Thanksgiving dinners, and like there was a moment that y'all fought before because you had one idea, he had another idea. Like, how is that like dynamic when it comes to booking with your brother?
It's sometimes challenging, you know. I mean, it's not always.
I know he's giggling over there.
Because sometimes we'll get one on board with an idea, and then the other will be like, eh.
Right, and then I'll complain to Killian, and I'll be like, Nick doesn't want to do this.
Yeah.
So,
and then like I'll agree with it. I'll be like, Nick, why don't you want to do this? And he's like, oh, well, I thought the blah, 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 and then, you know, we'll figure it out. But,
I understand.
You know.
yeah, but working with your
sure.
brother, you know, it's like fighting with your brother at times also. You know?
I
mediator.
figured.
But luckily, you know, we've grown up watching this shit for our whole lives. We see eye to eye on a lot of stuff. We understand what's important in pro wrestling, and you know, putting on a good wrestling show, we're pretty easygoing.
By far the most professional promoters I have ever worked with, bar none.
Amazing
like
to hear that.
they, cannot say
Very
enough
flattering.
good things about both of the brothers.
And we try to stay professional. That's a key. You know, it's something, a lost art perhaps in pro wrestling at times. You know, in any business.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Making relationships and connections is part of building your brand and your business. So that's essential to anything you're doing in life. So
right.
yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. Favorite storyline, favorite story, especially from a booker's point of view. See that?
I wanna give this one some thought.
You know, it's not my favorite, but I was just watching it, and just the pure obscurity of
Yeah,
it.
sometimes
just
something
blew
comes
my
to mind.
fucking mind. It was the whole Lana and Rusev and Bobby Lashley shit.
You know, the first thing that came to
It
my
just
mind was
blew my
something
fucking
terrible
mind.
too. Like I thought about TNA one time when Mickey James got ran over by a train.
Yeah, it
I mean,
just
check out some shit like that. It's insane.
I didn't even know that was a thing. You
Yeah.
learn
I
something
did
every
not
day.
know that was
My
a thing
goodness.
either.
James Storm had pushed her onto train tracks. And,
no shit.
Wow.
I need to look this
Yeah, I
up.
don't
Look it
remember
up.
that. I gotta look that up. I don't remember
Man, I guess he's sorry about her own damn luck.
God damn it.
that. Too damn bad.
But yeah, in the 10 years I've spent watching TNA, I tend to remember the hilariously bad storylines more than good storylines for some reason.
And he'll educate me, and then I'll be like, wow, something I learned about TNA today. Or sometimes
I
I'll
wish
just...
I had something good to share with you.
I know. Well, sometimes you do.
Yeah.
Like King of the Mountain.
There
you
we
know,
go.
you know.
I believe in King of the Mountain. That's it's gonna tear the house down on January 11th.
I mean, yeah, you've got Kenny Calypso, Just Nick, the Lucha man of the right now,
For real.
Epidemius.
In the future.
Epidemius Jr. We got Wesley Crane, who's really made a name for himself. I mean, he's been around for ages, but recently has been, you know, gaining some momentum.
His triad performance was just crazy.
So good.
Yeah.
People lost their minds over that one. So
And then
we're
who am I missing? Nick, Kenny, Wesley Crane.
we're missing someone.
Yes,
but
we're missing someone. We're leaving out someone.
We promise.
We promise we don't mean it.
So
on
it's
purpose,
just
but
like mystery opponent.
For now, it's a mission.
if I can pull out my phone.
All right. Well, you already said your favorite gimmick match. What is your least favorite gimmick match that you just to this day like? I don't understand it. I hate it. I don't care about it.
Ooh, this could be a hot take. I
It's all right.
don't like Iron Man matches.
Oh my God, me neither.
Yeah, can't do it. I think they can be done really well if you know.
The only one that was perfect was Brock Lesnar versus Kurt Angle.
That's a fantastic.
That was the
one.
only one I care for. The first one with Shawn and Brett. I could have just tuned in the last 5 minutes and be like, all right,
And that's-
overtime.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's a lot of Iron Man matches.
Yeah, that's a
There is
lot.
a built-in
Yeah.
story you can tell with it, but it's hard to capture the viewer for the amount of time that it's going for. You know,
Bailey
it's-
and Sasha NXT Takeover Respect was very good.
Yeah, but that was like 30 minutes. I think.
Oh,
you talked
yeah,
about an
yeah,
hour, right?
60
I mean, the
minute,
longer you get, the
yeah,
worse it gets.
indeed.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
Right.
you're watching a match with a timer on it. You know, it's like you're waiting for your food to be done. Like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna sit there and watch the microwave spin. You know,
Watching the paint dry.
and maybe that's a little ridiculous.
I mean, wrestling is very hard, and to do it for 60 minutes is
right,
very hard.
and that's the cool part
And
about it is if you can go out there for 60 minutes and put on a show, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, and there's some people
Good
that
for your
will
cardio.
be
man.
entertained by that nonstop. You know,
I mean,
but,
we recently found out John Cena did it with Shawn Michaels.
Shawn
I mean,
Michaels,
it wasn't an Iron Man match, but
it was
you
like
know.
close to like 54 minutes.
Yeah.
Like if you like cut out the whole commercial breaks, it was basically an hour.
Yeah.
I think it's a badge of achievement, but as a fan, it's not my favorite.
No.
Right.
Nah, I can
Now,
understand
if it's
that,
like
though.
an hour that's like untelevised, and I'm just like, you keep going with this.
If you keep going and building off of a hot match,
Yeah.
and you just end up, okay, we're just gonna do this for an hour. Awesome.
Yeah,
Sign
but
me
if it's
up.
like, no,
Right.
this is predetermined. Like, hey, this is gonna be
15
the
to 20 minutes is long enough for me.
Yeah, and that's something I always stress: is shorter matches are not a problem with me.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
not a problem with me at all. Most people grew up on WWE television matches, and those are typically what 5 to 8 minutes.
I
You know,
mean,
it's-
velocity is great for
Right.
for studying, basics and things like that.
absolutely.
Timing and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
A
Absolutely.
quick, fun match can be 5 stars in my opinion. You know, just in a different way.
And that's why WWE Speed has also been like a really cool thing.
It's a novel concept. I like it.
Right. And you not only like are there warp in the wrestling timeline type matches, but there are also like it's what can they do in 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Let's see what they can do in 5 minutes. And sometimes,
My girl knows what I can do in 5 minutes.
I don't think I want to find out what you can do in 5 minutes.
Whoa.
I just wanted to stretch that out.
That's a good one. All right.
Indeed.
All right, guys. Before we get up out of here, man, I want you guys just to go ahead. Let us know what else you got going on, man.
Yes,
Anything we can
please.
look for into the future. Any shout outs you want to give. Shout out your platforms. The floor is yours.
Yeah, Wrestle Rave, January 11th, King of the Mountain, Houston, Texas. Last show at Houston premiere for a while, probably. Not the last show ever, so calm down. But we will be back March 29th at 403 Eats in Tomball, Texas. Cappuccino Jones will be back. Kenny Calypso will be back. We're talking to some international stars. So definitely stay tuned for that. That'll usher the new era of Wrestle Rave. You can follow us on YouTube. It's where we do a lot of our content. We have over 150,000 monthly viewers on that.
As well as very cool TNA lists narrated by
You can
this man.
listen to me rant about Mickey James getting run over by a train on there.
There you go.
I'm gonna look this up.
Right.
I've been learning a lot about TNA through Jack's
Maybe
videos.
that's the next
really.
video idea that I need to spread the
We're
word
gonna look
on
into
that.
that. We're gonna look into that, man. Definitely.
But yeah, our YouTube is definitely something we're proud of. We have some exciting news for a possibly new streaming service too, with some really cool perks for fans that if you're a Wrestle Rave supporter, you're going to get a lot more bang for your buck coming up. So,
That's awesome.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
but January 11th, be there.
Indeed. At Killian is a _ref.
Yeah, and check out
And-
this guy. Book him for your show if you're,
Oh yeah, and
you
if
have
you
that authority.
if you need a private investigator, Max Stone Pro on Instagram.
Holla at your boy, man.
Holla at
He's
that
on the
boy.
case. Any closing comments, Eddy, man?
Nah, man, I'm just very excited, man. 2025 is gonna be amazing, man.
Yeah, man. 2025 is gonna be an amazing year. We got a lot coming up, a lot in store. So y'all just make sure y'all stay tuned with the movement. Follow us on all platforms. It's Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We on everything. If you look up Big Propaganda, we in the building, man. When you rocking with that PWO, you're down for life.